Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Collegian Sports Hot Seat. I'm Corey Rholdon.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
2 for 2 on the end. I love it.
Walk it like I
Samantha?
talk it.
Coach Shoot is one of the greatest coaches we
Walk it
have.
like I talk it. Hey, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
Collegian Sports Hot Seat. I'm Corey Rholdon.
And I'm Damon Wright.
Before we get the interview started, we're going to have a Choctaw review where I'm going to start with basketball. The men's basketball team started up practice last week, and they're really into intensity and energy. The Choctaws want to play at a faster pace this season, and their first game is against Belhaven on November the 9th.
On the trails, the men's and women's cross-country teams competed inside the MC Division II Invitational last Saturday. The men's finished first while the women's finished fourth. This next Saturday, both teams will be wrapping up their seasons on Choctaw Trails for the GSC Championship.
Women's soccer has a huge game today. They play the number 1 team in the GSC, West Florida. Both teams are undefeated in GSC play. The Choctaws have won 12 straight games. Damon, what does the Lady Choctaws need to do to win this game?
If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it?
don't fix it. Keep on playing how they've been playing. I think that they're going to come out with the victory. All they need to worry about is the rain. The conditions are probably going to be a little bit sloppy, but I still think they'll come out with the victory.
Defensively, they've been unbelievable this season. Gabby's done a great job. I just think if they get a couple of goals early, I think they will keep that lead and win this match.
And I also think if the student section shows up, that'll boost the morale of the team and also propel them to victory. On the men's side of the pitch, the men's Choctaw soccer team is currently sitting at a record of 6-5-1, and the last result that they had was a game against the Warhawks of Auburn Montgomery, and they tied it 0-0. The next game they will be playing is this afternoon against West Florida. Corey, what do the Choctaws have to do to beat the Argonauts?
Well, the big thing about the Choctaws, unlike the Lady Choctaws, is defense with them. I think they have the ability of scoring goals. It's just they have to defend better, I believe. And if they do that, I think they'll have a chance against West Florida and in the GSC tournament. The football team defeated Shorter University by the score of 37-24 last Saturday. This week is homecoming, and they played the number 3 team in the country, West Georgia. Damon, what does the Choctaws need to do to have this upset?
I believe if we play like we did, motivated, how we did last week against Shorter, I feel like we can come out with a victory. I feel like homecoming is going to amp us up. Being inside, being back home after 3 weeks away, I feel like that's going to really bring up the morale, and I feel like we're going to come home with a victory. It's going to be a very close game, but I think we're going to pull away. And on the volleyball courts, the Lady Choctaws will be traveling to Auburn Montgomery this Friday, and they'll be playing West Florida this Saturday.
Well, that's it with your Choctaw review. We're going to take a quick break with our sponsor, 303 Jefferson.
Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin', ice. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Came through drippin', drip, drip. Diamonds on my wrist, they drippin'.
Tired of the cab?
Take a walk down Brick Street to 303 Jefferson.
Open 6 days a week. Welcome back. We're here with the SID of Mississippi College Sports Information Director, David Nichols. David, what was your journey like coming from being a student here at Mississippi College to now being the sports director?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Damon, Corey. It was kind of an interesting one. I was a student at MC, graduated in 2006, and started as a graduate assistant in athletic communications, sports information, and spent 2 years as a grad assistant and moved up to an assistant level. And then my boss, Chris Brooks, that was here for 8 years as the SID, he left, and so Coach Jones, our athletic director, asked me to step in, and that was in 2010, and so I've been here ever since. And so, started in undergrad in 2002 and still here in 2018. I don't know that I would have pictured that when I started, but it's really been a fun ride, and I don't know if anybody loves Mississippi College more than I do.
Mm-hmm. What was your childhood like, and why did you want to become the SID?
Well, my childhood was great, I guess. I mean, I was kind of a pudgy kid that was not very good at athletics. Loved statistics and things like that. I would say I didn't even know what a sports information director was until probably I was hired. I was good friends with Coach Jones' daughter, and she was supposed to be the graduate assistant in sports information. And I think he told her if she did that she was going to have to live at home. And she was like, "No, I'm good. I'm out." And so she called me up and said, I don't know if you're doing anything, but if you're interested in getting your grad school paid for and be a graduate assistant in sports information. I was like, sounds fun. I love sports. I love statistics. I love all the, at the time, for me, it wasn't as much about the student athletes, but as I've gone on, it's become more about seeing our student athletes succeed. And, that makes it all worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, I would say, honestly, I had no idea what this position even was until I really got started. And still kind of an evolving position as it goes on.
Can you explain to everybody what is your exact position? What is your daily duties?
Yeah, I mean, the official title is Assistant AD for Athletic Communications. And essentially what we do and what we talk about all the time is we tell people that we tell the story of Mississippi College athletics. So you guys on the football team and our 17 NCAA sports are doing some really cool things on and off the field, in the classroom. And our job is to let people know about that, whether it be on the website, social media, videos, different things like that. What you guys are doing great with this hot seat, with the hot seat is really good. And just doing whatever we can to get the word out about the great things that our student athletes and coaches and just school as a whole is doing. It's kind of our goal, because we've got a lot of alumni that may not keep as good in touch as they should or as they can, and so it allows them to have an opportunity to see what's going on MC's campus, and even people that are in the community of Clinton that aren't able to keep up with MC athletics like they want to or should. We're able to get the information to them and let them know what's going on in Choctaw sports.
Last week, big win against Shorter. Tell me what your thoughts were on DJ Smith's interception.
I thought he was running faster than me, but probably slower than others. It was like, just, keep going. Be honest with you, I could see the initial thought on fourth down is let's knock the ball down and get the ball back. That's, and as everybody was thinking, let's knock it down. And Derek made a great play getting in there and knocking it away. So you knew it was going to be incomplete and we were going to get the ball back. And then when you see DJ catch it, I don't know, for most of y'all that may or may not know, DJ's on the track team as well, throws, I believe it's discus and shot. And he's an athlete. I mean, he can go a little bit better than most nose tackles.
Right.
So when he caught it, I kind of looked and I saw one offensive lineman and then I saw the quarterback, and I thought, man, he's never going to forgive himself if he doesn't beat them in the end zone. And he took off, and then you kind of watch down the sideline just making sure he's not stepping out. And it was just really cool because it went from let's try to make a play and make a stop and get the ball back to let's go up 13, 14 points and put this thing away. And man, it was really cool. And then he's coming back to the sideline. You see everybody celebrating with him and seeing how awesome he felt and the team felt. And I mean, I know you guys were there. It was, it was getting a little nerve-wracking there at the end. You were hoping somebody was going to have to make a play to finish that off, and DJ, I'm glad he was able to do that.
It was funny. All the coaches were yelling at him, "Get down, get down, get down."
Yeah, no.
And then all of a sudden you see him off the side. I was like, he's not getting
yeah.
down.
He's gone.
I mean,
He's
how many
gone.
chances does he have to run 73 yards for a touch? It's not going to happen a whole. He had it high and tight though. I mean, he's done that before. He knows what he's doing.
What is it like working with Coach Jones, and how is your relationship with him?
Working with Coach Jones is awesome. He's a great athletic director, but more than that, he just cares about not only his employees or his coworkers and whatnot, but the student athletes. And one thing that I've taken from him going forward, the goal is to eventually try to be an athletic director one day and do what he does. One thing I take from him is that there's other schools in Division II, Division I, where they care more about the football team or the basketball team. Coach Jones, what I love about him is he spreads the wealth among everybody, whether it be resources, support, whatever it is. And he wants everybody to succeed as much as any other team on campus. And I think that that's unique to him. I think there's a lot of people that preach that and say that, but I'm not sure that they necessarily do it. And that's one thing that I take from him. I mean, he's so much fun as an athletic director. He makes this job fun to do. You know, my dad's been going through some health issues lately, and he's been very understanding about me being able to be up at the hospital and hang out with him while still getting my job done. But he's not one, you're going to be here from 8 to 5 and then you go home and you keep working on stuff. I mean, he understands that this Saturday, for instance, I'm probably going to get here for a football game around 8 or 9 in the morning and probably not leave until about 8 or 9 at night. 12-hour day on a Saturday when a lot of people aren't still working on Saturday. So he really understands that there's a lot more to life than just this job, and understands that there's more to it. And I take a lot of that from him, the way that he cares for all of our sports, all of our student athletes, all of his employees, and makes everybody feel really special.
He also has one of the great nicknames, the Bear.
The Bear, yeah. I mean, I don't even know. I think he's just got it because he's huge, like in a good way, not like, you know, fat. No, you're watching at home. Like, just anyway. Go ahead.
I know there's probably a lot, like you probably can't pick one, but what's the best game you have seen while you've been reporting for the Choctaws?
To be honest with you, well, there are a few, and I hate to cut anybody out, but I'll say winning the national championship in softball was really cool. Winning the conference championship in baseball and softball the last couple of years has been really cool. I will say that in 2009, our football team won, 2009, we won the American Southwest Conference Championship. And Mary Hardin Baylor, that y'all may or may not have heard of, they are perennially top 5 in the country, and they came and played at our place. And we knew we had a good team that year, but they've always been that team that it doesn't matter how good you are. Right. And at the end of the game, it was 14-14, and we hung in there. Our defense played great. Our offense did enough. And at the end of the game, we kicked something like a 30-something yard field goal. And to be honest with you, that day I was doing the broadcast, and I just remember thinking that everything that those kids and the coaching staff had put into that game throughout the week and really all season, that was the team we had to beat to win a conference championship. And, you know, to see the field goal go through and us celebrate, it was amazing just to kind of see that happen. My voice cracked, you know, a note. My voice cracked when I called the game-winning field goal. I was actually in an Apple store one time, and somebody had it pulled up, the old archive video, so that was exciting. So lives forever in infamy, I guess.
So you talked about 12-hour game days. What is your favorite part of the game days?
To be honest, just the actual game, from a standpoint of a lot of my job has to do with preparation before and taking care of business after. So the actual game is kind of like an easy part to me, where it's, you know, let's watch the guys play, let's watch the teams play. You know, I guess the game is the best part because you guys get to go out there and just play. You know, you get to have everything you've done all week, all season to, you know, when it was 100 degrees preseason, you guys are working out and doesn't feel like it's necessarily worth it all the time. And, you know, you're going to meetings, and then during that 2-3 hour period, your goal is to go out there and win for the Choctaws. And it's really cool to watch that and just see all the hard work pay off.
What's it like dealing with like student reporters from your perspective?
Oh, no.
It's good. And it's really gotten great over the past several years. I will say that it takes some seasoning. If you know, a lot of times when you know, we have a lot of folks that want to do stories on our student athletes in the Collegian with this video, and we want to highlight those student athletes. The dealing with them is great. We do have to kind of set some ground rules and remind those student reporters, not these guys, right, that just give us plenty of time to make sure we know what's going on and understand that our because y'all know this better than anybody, student athletes, what you guys go through on a daily basis, whether it be practice or school or study or whatever, it's not nonstop. Right. And so it's hard to find that time when our student athletes can kind of step away and do something like this. But they, you know, for the most part, it's good as long as we have plenty of time to prepare.
So I know you're a big Tennessee fan. Besides Peyton Manning, who is your favorite Tennessee football player?
You know, I'd like to say Brent Schaefer. No. You know, Jamal Lewis was really good, running back in the day. You know, when they won the national championship, Peerless Price caught that, you know, long touchdown pass against Florida State. You know, it'd be nice for them to get back going, you know, kind of in the right direction. I know that it's been kind of a while since they've been really, really good. But probably like Peerless Price is a pretty cool name. I don't know if y'all know the story of how he got his name. Apparently when he was born, this is the story. I don't guess I have actually talked to his mom about it, but his mom apparently looked out the window after he was born and there was a moving truck. It said Peerless Moving. And she looked up the word and found out that peerless means without, equal, without, and she's like, that's a pretty cool name. So that's how he got his name. So I haven't known any other Peerlesses in my life, so I would have to say him.
So in Coach Bland's office, though, there's a picture of you with a Arkansas hat.
Right.
How
the
did
hog
that,
hat.
Yeah, the hog hat.
I think that was a bet.
How did that happen?
Well, I lost a bet, which we're not betting on anything. We lost a friendly wager, I guess. No money exchanged hands, but we have a Tennessee helmet in the office, and he was going to have to put that on if Tennessee had beaten Arkansas. And that game, I think Tennessee was up 3 touchdowns, and Arkansas came back and beat them. But yeah, that was I'm a man of my word, so I put on the hog hat and wore it. I think I wore it throughout the day. I want to say I wore it to lunch that day, and had a lot of people asking who that crazy kid was. But yeah, that was definitely lost a bet to Coach Bland on that one.
So speaking of Tennessee, when will the Vols finally beat Bama?
I guess when Nick Saban leaves. I don't know. I mean, nobody really beats him that much. I don't know. Everybody kept saying that it was an opportunity this weekend to get a win or at least keep it close. And then I was checking my phone after our game against Shorter, and it was 28-0 after the first quarter. I thought, well, maybe next year.
That team's just
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's – I don't know that they're going to lose to anybody this year. But, maybe Jeremy Pruitt, being that he's a former Sabanite or Saban apostle or disciple or whatever, maybe he can unlock the door at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name all the college football teams, Division I, that do not end in the letter S?
Like their mascot?
Yes, their mascot.
Man.
I can name one.
I mean, I would think like the midshipmen.
Midshipmen.
Yeah.
How many are there?
There's, I believe, 9.
9.
9. Ooh. Orange, Syracuse.
The
Syracuse
Minutemen from UMass.
Yeah, well, 10. They just joined, so yeah. The Green Wave.
The Green Wave. Man, that's tough. The Black Knights are not.
You just named one.
I did? Richmond?
No, what's your question?
Alabama
Crimson Tide.
Oh.
I didn't think about that.
That's a tough one.
Man, I feel like we could sit here all day.
Yeah. No.
Tulsa
Stanford.
Hurricanes. Stanford Cardinals.
You said that doesn't end in S.
Yes.
Cardinals.
They're not
Cardinal.
the Cardinals. They're
They're Stanford
Cardinal.
Cardinal.
It's a tree.
Oh, yeah. Okay, duh.
Then you have the Marshall Thundering Herd.
Okay.
And,
See, if you don't know, you're not allowed to ask the question.
well, I do know. It's the Wolf Pack. Nevada Wolf Pack
And
the
NC State.
Yes, NC
Okay.
State Wolf Pack. That's
Very
the
cool. Now you know.
Who would you rather have at quarterback? Eli Manning right now or Peyton Manning in his last year?
Peyton
Oh.
Manning. No, see, that's a ridiculous question.
Peyton was bad. He had more interceptions than touchdowns.
See, that was my
They
point.
won a Super Bowl.
I mean, that was my point.
They won a Super Bowl. Like, he was
Because-
able to do enough.
Because Von Miller was holding his.
Exactly.
I mean, he just Peyton Manning. He just needed to be.
He was
game
not. He was
manager.
not good.
I was
I
just-
won't. I mean, I will not.
Do you have like a vendetta against Eli Manning?
No, I have nothing against Eli. Eli Manning has been to the playoffs like twice in the last 10 years. Now, he won it both times, and he made big plays in those games. But I feel like if you're giving yourself a chance to be in the Super Bowl every year, that's better than not. I mean, they've won, what are they, like 4 in their last
Yeah, they're
20 games or something?
Yeah.
Like,
last 2 years have been horrible.
yeah.
It's been very bad
So, no, yeah, Eli's not that good right now.
right now.
He had a couple years where he was really good.
The first time you met me
Yeah,
as a little freshman,
as a little freshman.
what did you think?
I thought you had a sweet accent, and not like, oh, sweet, like sweet. I thought you were very driven. Like I knew you were gonna, like you kind of know. We were talking about this actually on the road trip this past week, that you know what you want to go after and what you want to do, and that'll help you be successful going forward. And it took a while probably to get to that point, but I just knew you had a really cool accent. I knew you loved the Saints. I remember you said something. You were wearing a Drew Brees jersey on the 10-year anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, and you came by and you go, 10-year anniversary, and I didn't know what you were talking about. It's like, all right, buddy, and then you just kept walking. So I remember that. But no, I mean, I knew that you had a lot, like you knew what you wanted to do, and that's a lot. That's different than most college students at this point. I knew I wasn't like that when I was in college, so it's a good thing.
That.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, driving slow in the left lane.
Really?
Yes, I don't understand
I
it.
understand that
They start
completely.
pulling people over, but I've yet to see it. And so maybe one of these, I'm not even kidding. Like I was on the way to work today and it was 3 consecutive cars. And like there's anything I can do by just looking at them, but I just feel like, when you drive by them and you make sure
Just give
nobody's
them-
in front, but you just give them like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
then you move on. That's right there at it. I mean, there's other things like, when people tweet during football games, like the school Twitter, and they don't say what the score or the time of the game is or who they're playing, and all they're like is touchdown, and so you have to
Right,
go,
and then you
okay,
have to, okay.
scroll through their Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So left lane driving,
Bad twittering.
bad twittering, and let me give you one more because I think I can come up with something. I feel like if anybody's watching this or watches this later, they're going to be like, why didn't you say this? I know my wife will. Being late for stuff.
Yeah.
Which since I've been married has been a bigger challenge. I love you.
What is the future of Mississippi College athletics?
I feel like, you guys have been a part of the come up, as the kids say these days. But, I honestly think when first year we're eligible, softball wins a conference championship, baseball wins a conference championship last year. I think we want to get to that point where every single one of our teams is in the hunt every year. And that's obviously what everybody wants. But honestly, I think, women's tennis had played for a conference championship last year. Men's tennis was in the semifinals before that. Golf finished 4th in the conference tournament a couple years ago. Men's and women's basketball and football have been the ones that have not gotten to that level yet, and I think that you guys would agree with that. I think we've seen strides, but those are really the 3 that we're still waiting to take that next step up. And last year in men's basketball, we were 9-8 with
Right
8 games
there.
to go, and then just some injuries and different things kind of kept us from going. Football this year, we're this close to being 5-2, 6-1. You guys know that. If we don't fumble the ball. First of all, in the first game, if we don't fumble the ball a couple of times against Clark Atlanta, we hammer them.
Yes.
We beat West Florida if we don't put it on the ground.
Right.
Florida Tech was a win.
pick it up,
Valdosta State is a good team. That's probably one of the best teams, probably the best team we'll play this year. But as far as, we're right there at it. And, I really think what people want to see out of the future is obviously competing in everything. And I think we're probably closer than people probably thought we'd be at this point.
No doubt.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring sports reporter?
I would say that being persistent is a good thing. I said earlier, give us time, let us know ahead of time. But being persistent and letting us know that you are involved, interested, and I'm all over this story. I want to do this. That makes it that makes it easier for us to want to go in and help you out. If I know that Corey's going to come to me, Corey and Josh Clark are great about coming and saying, and Damon are great about coming in and saying, this is what I want to do. I really see this as the future of this department. It makes it so much easier on us knowing what a plan is. Corey came up to me before the school year started and had the entire semester planned out for this show. If I know that he's taken the time to do that, it's going to make it easier for me to want to. The thing that really bothers us in athletic communications is we get those last minute requests from time to time, which sometimes are unavoidable. But when we feel like the effort is not being put in from their end, even from like the local TV stations, we kind of are at their mercy from time to time, where there's times when we want to be on the news, but it's like, do we really want it? It feels like they treat us second rate sometimes.
Right.
And so, but we really don't, we want to be on the news, so it's kind of, you're stuck there. But I would just say, just show off that you're excited about it, show that you're interested and prepared, and take the time to do it.
Yes.
After several months off, Landon Holdridge and Hampton Creole are back with Country Boys on the Quad.
What's up? Country Boys on the Quad, back this week. It's homecoming week. We're here with a little Twilight special for y'all. We're here with Cole and Turner Rodenberry, one of our many sets of twins on the football team. All right, so y'all know it's homecoming this week. Who do we play? We play number 3, West Georgia. West Georgia. Number 3 team in the country. Do you think they can handle the triple option? Nobody can. That's the answer. Nobody can. Can you tell me who their mascot is?
They're the Wolves.
All right, all right. Can you?
The Wolves.
There we go.
It doesn't matter who they're
That's what I'm talking about. It don't matter.
Like Halloween coming up. What you dressing up as? Nah, I'm gonna be me. Yeah, I got mine. All right, what you gonna
I'm Jack Sparrow.
be? Pirate.
The pirate.
All right, I respect that.
I didn't want boxing. My girlfriend bought my costume.
Y'all got another pair?
Yeah.
I actually already bought my costume. It's pretty nice. Got some short shorts, come up pretty high.
A little cop, Reno 911.
Nice.
Pretty dope.
You gonna be making some, booking some people on Halloween? Or,
Oh, for sure. It'll look scary.
A lot of scary Halloween movies out there. Scariest one to y'all, name it.
Mike Myers. Oh, they all pretty scary. I'm gonna have to say Freddy.
It ain't gotta be a Halloween movie. Friday City is those are rough. Homecoming King and Queen. Who you got?
I'm gonna pick Hannah Davidson for Homecoming Queen.
Who you got King?
Homecoming Queen, I'm gonna pick Chase Hughes. Chase Hughes.
Centerville Academy. There we go. All right, so we just need one prediction for this week. We're playing the number 3 ranked West Georgia Wolves. Who's going to win the football game?
Sharks by 90, baby. Let's go.
Welcome back. And now Christian Brent with What's Up With That. Christian?
Okay, so Justin Tucker has made 222 extra point tries out of 222. So until this past game against the Saints, where he missed the game-winning field goal, tell me what's up with that.
I'll tell you what's up with that. Mr. Tom Benson, resting in heaven, you know. You see, the ball was going straight, and all of a sudden it curved right. And the spirit of Tom Benson helped the Saints win.
How do we get upset about that?
Yeah, I mean, I was about to give my take, but you can't beat that. I really like it.
Well, the best part of that was his eyes. You saw the video of him. Like Justin Tucker could not figure out. He almost missed was it a field goal or an extra point earlier where it just went over the upright. So I mean, if he kind of was struggling that particular day.
It was very windy, and it was amazing to see. I don't believe he missed a kick in college either. And the last time he missed an extra point was in high school.
Yeah, Texas guy, is that right? Texas.
Yeah, Texas guy. So, what else,
All right,
Christian?
I got one more. Okay, so the Lakers versus the Rockets game last week. We all know what happened with that. Do y'all think CP3 is a good teammate?
No.
I think there's certain guys who just play hard and always want to win. And I think if you do win championships, it's looked upon as like, okay, he just plays hard. But since Chris Paul does not win, I think that people look at him kind of like he's not a very good teammate. He's not a good person.
But they're right there, though. They were last
Yeah, I
year,
know
they
he
were
was right there. It's
there.
just you see him like with DeAndre Jordan a couple of years ago when he's jumping in Jordan's face to shoot the ball.
I mean,
and
we're trying to
Jordan's
win.
just he wants to win. And I think he's kind of got that little kind of bulldog mentality. He's a little guy that wants to win. That you say, look at Michael Jordan. He won 6 championships, right? He used to get in Steve Kerr's face at practice and just used to, there were stories of Jordan just absolutely, demoralizing his teammates. But since he won, it doesn't seem like, you know what, that was a good team.
It doesn't seem like it's a very bad thing because if you win the rings, then nobody's they're like, oh, you're a champion. You can't really say anything else about it. You can just say, oh, I have a ring, I'm not a bad
I don't
team.
think Bill Belichick's a very nice guy or Nick Saban's a very good guy, but they win.
You can count on one hand how many times they smile per year with Bill Belichick and Nick Saban.
So,
What's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that? Well, that's it for the Collegian Sports Hot Seat. Thank you, David, for joining us. It's an honor.
Okay.
Go Choctaws. I'm Corey Rholdon.
And I'm Damon Wright.
We'll see
I'm
you
David
guys
Nichols.
next week.